guys, happy Sunday. I hope everybody's doing well. If you are under our current in the Midwest, there's a heat wave going through, and if you're on the East Coast, it's probably coming your way. But anyway, it went from like a high of 80 to a high of like 96 or something yesterday. So it's a bit toasty here. So it is kind of a summery sort of mood. But I hope everybody had a good week. I'll say hello to a few folks that I saw pop in. Hello, Blossom. You were here early. Danny, I hope you're doing well. I think Danny told us that it was, at least mentioned that it was like 110 in Nebraska. Ew. I'm not complaining about 95 now. Hello, Cordelia. You also live in warm climates, so you're probably not overly sympathetic. And hey, Jim and Linda as well. Good to see you. I hope everybody is well. I was on a Zoom with the Craft Roulette folks, and a lot of people were having emergency AC repairs. So, hey, Ann, how are you? I hope you are well. I guess a couple quick programming notes before we dive in. Shanna is not going to be live this week or next week due to existing obligations. And I won't be live next week because a friend of mine, a somewhat convoluted story, but there is a early music festival in Indiana. So shocking, sort of like Middle Ages era, essentially. And the a friend of our choir director is headlining that show with her ensemble. So they're gonna swing by Madison and do a concert here first for free. So I was kind of interested in that because I know nothing about the Middle Ages. Let's start there, but or at least don't know very much. So it'll be interesting. They have some videos on YouTube that made it look more fun than I thought it would be. Like you hear about older stuff and you assume it would be stuffy, but sort of, I think the theme is focused on kind of like courtly love and that whole thing. So I'm sure there will be like a lot of romance stuff if that's your thing. Hey, Shanna, I hope you're well. I hope you are not beset by the heat, although I think it's supposed to like hit everybody eventually. But and I hope you got out and did some family stuff because this is a great time of year for family things. Yeah. No, I guess it's not hot there, Anna. Who was it? The weird thing is, like, Alaska, I think, had its first heat advisory ever, like, last week. And it wasn't even like, it's not what I would consider hot. It was like, it'll be in like the 70s and 80s, but, obviously it's a bit toasty. Yeah, I don't know. I always forget that this time of year has so much like stuff to do. I guess that's the part I always forget about. It's like, well, it'll be the summer and I'll have lots of free time. And it's like, nope, nope, no free time. If it's a weekend, there's probably something going on. Ooh, lucky you. I mean, I didn't join the pool this year, but I have in previous years. Mostly because at one point, like, I don't know, I always feel like to join a pool, I need to figure out like when I'm going to do that. And for better or worse, like volunteering and church stuff has been taking up a lot of time this year in not in a bad way, but in like I often have places to be and things to do. But let's get into some happy mail. I may have shown you this before. This is from my friend James, who doesn't usually, I don't think, is ever on my lives, but sent me a postcard. I'd been talking to him about some of the chicken sitting I had been doing and sent me this very nice farmy card. So that was very cool. And then this is a swap card. I don't know what it is. I think it's a swap card. I might be wrong. Well, let's find out. It might just be a card. It is not marked as a swap card, but usually when things that look like cards come, oh wow, this is really fancy. Oh, this is incredibly fancy. I think this is the vacation card swap. Oh, look at this. I think this is from Allie's Card Swap, although it is by Cindy. Oh, this might be the beach card swap that I just mailed. This might be from Cindy and Cece's swap group, but really beautiful card. I will post it there, and hopefully they will tell me it's reasonable. It's interesting. The background was like hit with. You can kind of see it on camera. It was hit with like a gloss medium or something. So like the die cuts are not. So it really gives sort of an interesting 3D. Like it makes the background look a little more painted, which really makes the die cuts pop. Really cute die cut here. I like this chair a lot. But fantastic. But I will take a photo of that later. And then our friend over in Elizabeth's chat, if I can find where I put my scissors, sent me a stamp set that she had done a card with. And then I had said, wow, that's a really cool stamp set. And she said, well, I don't really use it. So I'll rehome it to you if you want. And I did. So let me pop this open. Ooh, these are red rubber. This is I think many moons ago card. Oh, there might be a card in here too. And a good use of tape. So we will use our scissors similarly. It did come with a card. How lovely. Some really cute owls, almost like a fairy tale vibe on these. And this is a great way to make a card too. Like this is sort of a make the pattern paper do all the work for you. Yeah. Oops, that was off stream. Hey Elizabeth, how are you? Welcome, welcome. So I like things like this. We may make cards like this because spoiler, we have pattern paper in the summer theme. So I thought we could do maybe some quick cards today. Hello, Daisy May. Welcome. Good to see you. I hope you enjoy it from our friend Carla. Very nice. She has a nice. She uses these clear stickers, which are nice. I've always been tempted to get stickers because I have stamps, but I always forget to use them. I actually like the. I don't know if I have a card with it, but this kitty cat stamp, Tailored Expressions makes custom ones. If you've gotten something from Cordelia, she uses a similar stamp. The fabrication time took forever. Like it took like 2.5 months, but it's a really cool. Anyway, and this is the stamp set. It is farm themed. I have a couple of friends who have kids who work on their farm, so I like this stamp a lot. And I really like this farm, and of course the tractor. And there's a cute dog. This would be very nice. I was thinking this kind of stuff is great to watercolor because all of your lines are in already, so you don't. And these are all red rubber, so you can use a waterproof ink like First Fun Clear or something like that, or whatever the other one is. Onyx Black, I guess, is waterproof. I've been spoiled lately. I've been using Be Creative and Blackout, which are both hybrids, because sometimes you don't know what medium you want to use. Anyway, but stuff like these sort of like etched looking stamps are great to watercolor because all you really have to do is put down flat color and they look fantastic. Anyway, speaking of things that look fantastic, Elizabeth and I were live last week. We made this little background. And here you can really see sort of the dimensionality you get with alcohol inks. And I don't know if it reads on camera, but the thing that's to me cool about them as a medium is you kind of like watercolors, you get this sort of interesting stained glass translucent thing of seeing colors through the ink because the ink itself is not really opaque. Some of them are. But I like how this one came out. This is with the me stamp. I think someone asked me about this. I believe it's coming out of the vault for general purchase from Crafty Stamp Co. soon because it was about the second kit. And then I finally did a thing I said I would do. I'm glad Blossom's here because she would appreciate this. But I did cut up a bulletin and actually use it as a background because I like music paper. But I thought this was really cool. And I had this butterfly punch that I got at my crop that I hadn't used, so it was a good excuse to use stuff. And I think this paper was a Bitty Penny like You know, if you buy from her, she does sort of pack in stuff. Yeah, I love that Farm Stamp 2 Blossom. When I saw it, I was like, oh, it's too bad it's probably not currently available because it's really, really neat. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to use this for. It's sort of, it feels like a sympathy card, oddly. Although you could be singing praises for whatever. So, you know, or send to a churchy person. And Elizabeth has a card too that I made out of the green one. But since she's here, I guess I won't show the card. But let me know, Elizabeth. Do you want to see your card or do you want to be surprised? It is your call. Oh, hey, Gloria. How are you? Welcome. I will see if she is still around. But anyway, we can talk about other stuff. I don't think other than that. Oh, I found the stamp I thought I didn't own, which made me happy. I found the final. So Crafty Stamp Co. did a fundraiser for their barn a million years ago, and like there were 4 stamp sets, and I had all but. Well, I don't own one because it was the one I wasn't. Okay, then I won't show you. But you know what the background looks like. Anyway, they had done a fundraiser, and I had 3. I thought I was trying to find my 3rd stamp set that came from it, and I did. So that was awesome. And I played around with our Meowie Kitty birthday friends, which is a fun stamp set. And Elizabeth is. I gave Elizabeth. This might be a hint for Elizabeth's Pattern Paper Monday. She has a card kit from me from my crop. So make sure to tune in to her stream, which is her channel is always linked in the descriptions of these videos. Anyway, but she streams at 6 same time I do. Only she streams Monday and Wednesday at that time, and then other times and other days. But this I think is this month's. Not too shabby paper. I'm a little behind on opening stuff, but it seems to fit our vibe today. It's lots of watermelons. So I'm curious what the paper looks like because I don't usually take a look at the. I don't usually, for whatever reason, I don't usually get their. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so this is Summer Slice. However, let me see if I can find it. I found because Shanna was working with it. This one recently too. So I'm really happy. The nice thing about their ephemera packs is they get like kind of like Spellbinders, you get like a bajillion pieces of ephemera. But this one Shannon was working with, and I really liked that it had these watermelon popsicles. Because I don't see that very often, although after I was curious about watermelon popsicles, I was like looking for watermelon popsicle stamps, and then you can find them pretty easily. So these are the 2 pads. They don't, Not Too Shabby doesn't bind their paper anymore. However, if you like, who was it? Amazon sells pattern paper holder thingy. So the way these usually work is you get one, which is this one, I think, which has sort of a cut apart, and it's gnomes because there are too many gnomes. I don't know. Let people know if you are gnome fans or not. But if you're gnome fans, you'll love this. If you're somewhat ambiguous about gnomes, you can use the ephemera, which doesn't appear to have gnomes. But you get this page which is cut apart, and I actually like this. You could fussy cut these if you were, so inclined. But this one you can actually just cut into quarters, so that makes it really friendly for. I found these cards. A card like this, right? I think this is a sheet load, but like essentially you can just border this. We might do that and plagiarize this and make some gnome cards. But a layout like this is a really good one because you can basically just mat your focal point, and then, you don't need this piece, but you can do whatever you want with the background. But like, it's a good way to make a pretty straightforward card. And I don't think this pad really has any particular sentiment vibe, which is kind of nice too. I don't know what's on the other side of the gnome. Oh, just watermelon bits. Ooh, this is a nice plaid. See, this would be a good one to like matte with white because like this is a lot of look as well. But it depends. I mean, if you like a lot of look. I don't know if you could punch these guys out with a circle though. I don't think. I mean, you could grab a circle and sort of die cut a circle. You just lose some of them. Anyway, so that's the first pad. It's interesting because the ephemera is really. Oh, I guess this is the one that goes with the ephemera because it looks more watercolory. I'm not going to bother using this thing. I'm going to. I should just put this in the sleeve eventually. Yep, Orange Beach. Off to the beach. Ooh, the beach would be nice. I'd like to. Let me catch up on you. Let me see what I missed while I was looking at paper. Okay. Danny, as an aficionado of Not Too Shabby, these are from June. Yeah. Well, we're only a month behind. I don't know. For some reason, like I like Not Too Shabby paper a lot, but I just accrue a lot of it, and then it's sort of like this paper I was using for my craft roulette card is like I bought like 3 years ago for a different project. And whether you like the club aspect of the way these work or not, usually the paper is available, not in the club too. I'll mail you mine. Danny's Team Gnome. Oh, what are we talking about? Oh, yeah, Blossom is also an aficionado and oh, yeah, no, I mean, it would be fitting for Elizabeth to work with Watermelon because she actually did an interesting card, sort of a free form Watermelon with some of the new Simon Hurley inks, and then she has Watermelon nails currently. Anyway, there we go. We are all caught up. We are looking. Yeah, I agree. Like that's sort of the downside to beaches. Like sometimes they're super duper touristy. At least that was kind of the vibe in Florida. It's like they're the places everybody goes, but okay. Have a good night, Danny. Thanks for dropping by. It's always great to see you. I guess we will make Danny a gnome card for sure. I just want to look at this paper because I think the first one we look at is really vibrant. This one I think is more watercolory, but this is also very vibrant. Like this is ooh, I like these butterflies. I would kind of scan and cut out these butterflies actually. Maybe. Like some of these you could you could theoretically scan and cut out a whole bunch of these patterns. We got some oh, I like this. My grandmother actually had tablecloths like that one. We have a lot of red again going on. Ooh, teal. Good choice. I like the teal because I think it would really make the watermelon pop. So we might use that for one of these. And then, so this also has a lot of plaids. The first one had not as many plaids. And if we look at the reverse, generally, ooh, that one's kind of fun. Have a more subtle pattern on one side than the other. But I don't know if that's true here. This one is almost like a striped card or like a strip card, only you don't have to do it because the paper looks like that. Little hearts are cute too. Anyway. So let's cut apart one of those gnomes and see how we like it. Since there were several people who are Team Gnome. These are cute. I will say that. As gnomes go. Now, I think these are just cuts at 3 inches. There's a little bit of a border, so we'll see how that works. Oh, it's 4 inches. 3 inches. Yeah, I think it's just 3 and 3. So I'm going to do this the easier way, but of course you could scan and cut these too if you wanted a not so square. Or I mean, you could cut them like this. I mean, oh, these come out great. So you could cut them like this and then fussy cut them if you really wanted to. Since they have a white background, we probably need to come up with a color like, I'm kind of thinking vibrant green. Although you could do not vibrant green. But I think I'm going to do what I said, and we can make some Nomi cards out of these because we have focal points already. So I'm thinking this green would look really fun. It's not. It's sort of it's like the lighter green that you get in the watercolor skin. So what we could do is, we could ink it. I think we'll cut them up and then like ink edge them a little bit with a darker green to kind of pull in the watercolor vibe. I have grass skirt on my desk. We could also just ink edge these, but I kind of want to cut some mats. They are. I just, I don't know. Gnomes for me are sort of I like them in the winter and are okay if they go on vacation for a while. But people say that about dinosaurs too, and I would be happy with dinosaurs being like an all year thing. So so I'm just gonna cut 3. I'm just gonna cut 3.5-inch squares, or 3 1/4. I'm thinking I almost might do a white card base because I think there's just gonna be a lot of color, which will be fun. But I probably don't need more. Probably don't need a colored card base. Yeah, I'll just cut 2 while I'm here because that will work out nicely. Yeah, because I think this will work well as like I think this is a good match for this watercolor, or like this color in the watermelon. And if we do a little ink edgy, it'll look even cooler. I could round the corners. I could do that if I knew where my corner rounder was. But that's a good idea. I actually found, there's the die I couldn't find. I actually found a corner rounder. If I put it in a smart spot. Or if I didn't, I can grab my other corner rounder. So they had a little one here at one point. Oops. But I like that as an idea. Well, I don't see it where I thought it was. So let me grab. I got this one now. You have my chunky one. Let's see. One of these is smaller. There we go. I kind of like that. Huh? That's cute. It does kind of unharsh the lines, which is nice. And we'll do that with these guys as well. There we go. That one got a little mangled, but it's okay. Did I? There we are. Some reason when I put cardstock in this, there we go. Sometimes I don't put it in all the way. But of course now this is working. we go. So we have 2 and 2. And let me grab some. Like this is sort of this color, which I think is a good watermelon match. It's going to be fairly ginger because this is a foam pad and it's Catherine Pooler ink and it's pretty saturated. If we want to go in and do more, we can. But I also gonna like just do the corners a little bit more because I think that's what you'll see. So I think this will look pretty neat. Yeah, I like that. It's just a little bit. And if you kind of drag it across the surface, you'll get more ink. If you want more of a there we go. This one's got, I guess it's kind of hard to see against black, but got a little more ink on it. That's not white either. Here's some white, but you can see it against white pretty easily. So I think if we use a lighter pattern paper, we'll be able to see this quite nicely. Let's see what I am missing. Yeah, I like the rounded corners too. Oh, Krista, welcome. Hey, Christy, nice to see you. I'm once again wearing a Craft Roulette shirt, although I'm not on camera today, so you can't tell. But I think we have our little gnomies. So I think I want to find some good backgrounds. Now, this one I was curious about. I actually kind of like that. I like the. I don't like it. You'd think it would be too much look, but I think if we put this on a white card base and then echo the white in the card base, I think this will work here. And I'll just leave it off to the side. I don't know that I'm gonna even sentiment these. I feel like we can just do bling down the side and be good, but just for giggles, there was another one I really liked, which was the teal I liked. Somewhere there was a teal. Oh, this was the teal that I thought was really cool. Like them both, and we can decide. I don't know if I'll bother with the sentiment, but I may. We'll see how this goes and how we're at time. I may mess with the sentiment. But I don't know if I have like a happy summer or something. That would be really good here. Where did I put my trimmer? Oh, there it is. So it's a mystery of how you can lose stuff in the middle of a live stream when you don't move and your house has a finite number of places things can be. We could cut this down and then mat it and do sort of a similar idea to what we were playing with. I don't want it to be this wide, but I do kind of like this is sort of a composition. So I might play with that a little bit. Although I feel like you could just basically assemble this card as we sort of were matting out before and be sort of good to go if you wanted to. You can always make stuff fancier, obviously. Yeah, no, it's easy. It's strangely easy to lose stuff without getting up. So my initial thought is all we really need to do is do that. But I also like the idea of um, using this reverse, maybe cutting it like an inch in something. Maybe using this. Ooh, we could use this. If we do this, I feel like you could do like we could do a little banner too. Maybe I'll do it like an inch banner on here too as sort of our blingy element. I kind of like that. Although you have to use this way because it is directional. There's not really room for a sentiment on here. I don't know that that's bad, but I mean, like you could do a vertical sentiment. I mean, you could also just put something, you could put another panel over the gnome too if you wanted to. But let me grab some white and make a card base. Because as you know, I am not good at pre-making card bases. Yeah, it is weird how you can lose things without leaving your desk. I agree. Whenever I do a whole one of these, I just score it in the middle just to start with because I know I'm going to put both of these together. The only hazard to working with white is if you get your inky fingers on it, it will be kind of apparent. This is a little on the thin side, which makes me a little sad, but do what I say, not what I did. Because I have a whole box of like Nina 110, so like I don't know what I'm using up for white. Because I'm not that picky about white, but I think this is actually gonna work pretty nicely for this card. Yeah, I like that. And if you really wanted to sentiment, you could like shift the gnome up and then put a banner or something. But I'm probably not going to bother because I think these are just fun, and then I'm going to make some watermelon banners for it. I think, and use that as my blingy element, and it can be in anything you want card. Because those are some of my favorite cards to make anyway. Because it's like, well, if you really want it to be an occasion card, you can always just stamp something on the inside for the whatever it is that you're celebrating. No, go away, foam dauber. That's a little not quite aligned. That I think it looks better. Pretty okay. There's one. I'm very close to running out of tape again. Oh, the mouse. Yeah, the mouse has working headlights. They're hard to see. You can kind of see them now. Like if it were more at night, they're really pronounced. So it's pretty cool. It was a gift from Blossom, who got it from somewhere, but it is one of my favorite things because Who knew you could get a mouse that had the car in the best color ever, camo blue, which is surprisingly hard to find considering it's the best color ever. But I think we will get our gnomes down, and then I will play around with making some banners. But I'll probably cheat and just use my banner punch because that makes it a lot easier. Although, I don't know. Cutting fishtail banners isn't... I forget. There was one Kendra's card challenge that has like 570 fishtail banners in it. I do love blue camo. It is my favorite thing. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't done a Kendra's card challenge like a full series in a while. I should do one because I really enjoyed it. They make really great shorts, and then if you're making shorts out of them, you don't really care what's going on with your audio. So it's like you can listen to other stuff, and because like if you're gonna stick music over the whole thing anyway, I usually throw out whatever audio I record. You could probably voiceover. I never do because I don't personally love voiceover shorts for my own watching. I think that, I like that. But some people are, I do like the shorts of like coloring because, as has been established before, like I like coloring, but I don't know that I would want to watch like, a tremendous amount of it. I think that'll work because then if we put like a banner here, it'll balance it pretty well. Guess we know one person who wants a gnome card, so or more than one, but at least one we know for sure. There we go. This is really why I like Not Too Shabby because there's stuff like this is just easy to pull together. Like if you really wanted a fast card, you definitely could make a fast card this way. Oops, let's not. And we have, because we're only 40 minutes in and we're almost done with 2 cards. And I didn't cut that right. Let's try that again. And grab my little banner punch so I don't have to line up things. I guess I cut this a hair too big. Yeah, that one's a hair too big. Yeah, these are both slightly too large. So let me just shave off a fly's eyelash so they are easier to work with. There we go. That was a little more than a fly's eyelash, but it'll be fine. So I'll just shave a little. Yeah, it's probably okay. Anyway. See if this works a little better. Oh, yes. Let me turn these things over so you can actually tell if they're lined up or not. That is not lined up. Not at all. I guess we will need to use a Gloria tool to hopefully get this out of the way bunch. There we go. Well, now it's lined up. And now it came out, and there we go. What? And I think what we can do is we can kind of break the frame a little bit. I kind of like it here better. But I like the idea of this. It's very watermelon-y. There we go. One is also done. If you use longer banners, you don't have those like issues of the paper kind of getting stuck. But I really like it on the teal. I think that looks really cool. What's on the other side? Do we like the other? It's a lot of plaid. I think they both work. But I do like it against the teal because it's more vibrant. Or we can see what else we have and maybe make a different banner. We could also just ink over. We could ink over this in teal too. That might be kind of a fun thing. But here you go. It's a very Nomi card. Oh, do you like gnomes too, Gloria? I actually meant Danny because she had been very vocal on her love of gnomes. I think I'll leave the. I'll just do this one. I think. But I guess we know where both cards are going, because we can always make more. There we go. Whoops. The one thing about these glossy papers is like the glue does take longer to stick. So let's let these dry. Let's take a look at our ephemera because I see that there's these big pieces in here. And I'm curious what those are. Because Jamie, ooh. Well, that's pretty awesome. Let's make a farming card. And we can probably use the same general design, but what I think I'll do is use some of my green as the backer this time. We could rip this, or I don't know if I found my black trimmer. Unless it's where it's supposed to live, which would be odd. See, we have Well, it's somewhere hiding on me. Because it's the middle of a live stream. That should be sort of like the cat is black, so it can hide in a lot of places that are in plain sight. Or we could just grab our, I think we could grab our tearing ruler and rip this a little bit to just give it a little more character. Let's do that. Since I can't find the trim. It's somewhere. And I haven't used this in a while, but these things are really handy. I think we're going to go with the wavier one. So all you really need to do is you really want to push down and then tear towards you. And you get kind of these fun little things. And how much space do we need? I guess since this isn't going to really match, it doesn't matter as much. Do any of these curves match? Not really. Do we like this? Maybe using the finer side would have been more intelligent. Let's try that. Yeah, this gives you a finer edge, which is kind of nice. It does tend to rip up the cardstock more, so if you aren't in the mood for that, FYI. But I think this will actually work. I'll probably keep ripping on this side, and then we'll use the like prettier side at the end. But let me just put a little mark, probably about a little more than I want, but I'll rip this mark off, and then we can figure things out. So I'll just put this over the mark I made. And because it's a ruler, let me flip the sides. Well, this will be a little different, I guess. There we go. I think I just dropped something, but that's okay. There we go. And we can, I've sort of intermixed which sides are where, but again, we can probably tear about here and be pretty good. But if you have a decal trimmer, you know where it is. You can use that too. Certainly. But doing it with a ruler makes it extra wonky. So if you're looking for it to be like pretty wonky like this, I think this will be kind of fun. I think this is going to be kind of a fun look. Let me see what I missed. Yeah, so I got it on Amazon. It's pretty cool. So it's got three things that are useful on it. So it's got the traditional deckled edge. It's got the one I just used. It's got actual measurements in inches and cm. So it actually functions as a ruler. So it's not like you need another ruler. And it has this slit, which is designed for cutting essentially with like a finger blade or a craft knife if you want to, not if you want to cut a specific line. So it does a bunch of things. And because it's a metal ruler, it's very loose and wiggly. So it's nice to pack. I like it because you can pack it for a crop because it takes up no space and no weight, which is also usually a plus. Sometimes I'll just like slide them under like a craft mat like this one too, just so I don't lose them. But I've lost them, which is probably why I have 4 or 5 of them. But so I guess we need to figure out what would be a good farmy sort of paper. I kind of like these watercolor swatches, actually. Although there's none of the green in it. No, there's not a light green in those. Oh, this might be fun. Like this water. I kind of like that. I think I'll keep this layer not ripped up just to give it sort of a different vibe. I may play around with the positioning of that too. We could make this into like a. I kind of want to make this into a square card. Maybe I'll do that. Let's see. Figure out how big our wonky rip piece is. I don't like it that way. I don't like it that way. Yeah, I think this is the orientation I like. So I think 4x4 is the size I want, and then I'll do. Then I can just do a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Based on this, and it'll still fit in an A2 envelope, and it won't require wonky postage because postage is in the US is weird for some reason about square stuff. And we're still mostly on time. So I'm thinking kind of like that, and then we just need to make a base. Could pull this green into the. I kind of want to do a dark green base, actually. Let me grab some dark green. That's not dark green. That's green, but the wrong green. That's blue. Here we go. I think this is a good watermelon green. It's probably not called watermelon green, but you know. So this I'm just gonna do 4 1/4. Then we're gonna score it in the middle and be good. That's 4 1/4. Probably should make an inside-y piece since that's kind of dark to write on. If I have some white of a reasonable size. Oh, this is pretty close. So 4 1/4. Yeah, that'll work. We could also look inside the ephemera pack and see if we got any sentiments. Because sometimes Jamie will kick in some sentiments, which would make this even easier. I didn't dig into it. I just grabbed the one piece and moved on, but I think we can. We have some really big pieces. I don't see sentiments in here. That's fine. We could also, I've been really enjoying these waffle flower ones too. And these would actually fit nicely. I kind of like these So Very Thankful You're My Friend. So let's do that in green because I think that would be kind of cool. If I can find my Stampy thingy. Here we go. And get a little off the top, but not much because like this is going to not have a lot of space to write in anyway. Although if you want to, although I always figure if people want more space to write in, they could always just throw a note in here too. Like, you know, you can just do that. We'll see how this works out. I think this will be a good green. It's weird because the actual like case for this green looks to be a very different color than it actually is, but we'll see. No, I haven't gotten the pet tape. So let us know what you think of the pet tape. Because I've been tempted. I like the yellow gnomes specifically, but all the pet tape looks pretty cool. As I understand it, it's sort of like pre-perforated, so they're more like it's like stickers that are on a tape roll, kind of, but they're translucent. So it's pretty, if you use them as elements, they wind up being they kind of blend in. They don't look like super stickery. I mean, kind of like how a rub-on would do a similar thing. Only it seems like the pet tape would be a little less finicky than rub-ons. Just do that. I like these. They're I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting to a certain age, but they're a little sappy, but not super duper sappy. I really bought it because I like wishing you the best everything is the reason I bought this. But the so thankful you're my friend is good. The thank you for being there is good. You always make me feel better is a good one. There's a lot of sort of that you could use them as sympathy card sentiments. And then there's just sort of your hello friend and stuff you probably have. But I do like the mixing of the like scripty font in the more like, typeface font. Now we can put the rest of all this together. And it comes with dies, and if you buy both, you get that like I don't know what you'd call it, the nicer plastic packaging from Waffle Flower, where you can keep all your sentiment. You can keep your dies and your other bits together. Which is nice. I've started keeping them in like gallon bags just from the standpoint of like it's super annoying when you find a stamp set you like and then wind up not knowing where the dies are. Not that I mind like scan and cutting it, but just that it's like annoying when you paid for the dies, you can't find them. I'm liking how this is coming together. There we go. I should send this to my aunt because she had a friend who's been helping her out a lot lately. So that would be kind of nice for that. Anyway, we are at the top of the hour, and I think we have we made 3 cards, which is pretty cool. These are all pretty straightforward and didn't require a bunch of fancy stuff, which is, I think, always great. Especially in the summer or other times when you would like to whip cards together quickly. So we have our 2 gnome cards that are basically the same with slightly different paper. I didn't inside sentiment these, but I will probably when I use them, or I'll just write them. I've been writing more anyway, so from like a message standpoint. And then this is our little farmy square. And you could, if you wanted to, obviously all these, you could basically just like stamp a sentiment on a strip and do like a flag going horizontally, or, you could just put a strip over the whole thing. Although with something like this, you'd probably want to support it a little bit because you've got like 3.5 you've got like 3 layers of cardstock. Then this is how it looks on the inside. Anyway, so let me see. I won't see you next weekend. Neither will Shanna because she is still out and about. And although if you are looking for something to work on, I believe Christy and her friends stream over on Making Cards with Friends in this similar time slot. So if you want somebody to watch next Sunday, feel free to do that. I don't have the. I don't think the link's in the description box, but if anyone has it, feel free to drop it down. Oh, thanks, Elizabeth. And I'll see you guys after that. I don't think anything. Don't think there's anything super wild going on in July. So same time and same channel for all the usual things. But it was great seeing you guys. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will talk to you guys later.